Today, I want to talk about a perk on some travel credit cards that I feel like very few people know about, and it's not really talked about a lot, but it can save you so much hassle and so much money. And it's a feature that I didn't even really know about until I had to utilize it. My favorite credit card is the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Not affiliated with Chase, by the way. But there are many other credit cards that have this feature and this perk. It's called Trip Delay Reimbursement Insurance. Now, guys, this is huge. We all know how messed up the airline situation is. Even just this past holiday season in 2022, there were massive cancellations, massive delays. I think one day before Christmas or something, there were like 10,000 flights canceled. The other week, we had the entire FAA system go down for a couple hours. Now, the airlines aren't going to do anything for you, as I and many of you have learned in the past. They're just going to book you on the next day and send you on your way. Good luck. You get no hotel, you get no money, you get nothing. What happens is that you end up having to take money out of your own pocket for another day, who knows where, away from home, and you're just out of potentially hundreds of dollars. Now, I'm going to talk about one of my experiences using this, and I had no idea how powerful this tool was at the time. I live over in Los Angeles, and for this trip, I flew all the way back over to my hometown of St. Petersburg, Florida. And then when it was my time to leave, I headed to the airport. I got to the gate, checked in, and then the announcement came. We heard thunder and lightning everywhere, and the gate agent said everything was canceled, everything was grounded, nobody was leaving. So as soon as that announcement came, I saw the line at the gate agents grow. It was like a Disney World line, and I just wasn't quite fast enough to get in the front of that mess. Me sitting back towards the end of the line, I kept thinking, the airline wasn't going to do anything except stuff me in another plane for the next day. I was dreading having to pay out of pocket for another hotel, another meal eating out. I was going to have to figure out how to get to and from the airport, and it was just a nightmare. So I was waiting in that line until I realized that there was some sort of benefit that could help me with this. So I brought out my phone and went to the Chase app, and I found what I was looking for, and that was the reimbursement insurance. I read all the details, and lo and behold, it included incidental weather. So any thunderstorms, etc., as long as the delay was 6 hours or more, or you had to stay overnight, it would reimburse you for any, within reason, expense that you had. I was a little skeptical because I always am when it comes to insurance companies. I always feel like they make money by making sure that they don't pay you money usually. But reading up on it, it seemed like a great option. So I decided to do a little experiment. I wanted to utilize this reimbursement insurance and see how much they pushed back. By the time I reached up to the gate agent, I felt pretty good just telling them to book me on the flight the next day, and they would take care of it. So once I got my new flight information from the gate agent, I went ahead and left the airport, and I went on my phone and I called a Lyft. Next, once I took my Lyft back to the hotel that I had just spent a week at, I begged and pleaded for them to have a room. Now, that wasn't really necessary because it was a weekday at that point and they had plenty of rooms open. But my point is, they had a room available for me. It was at a slightly higher price point that I had paid for the week, but that's okay. It was last minute, and hopefully I was just going to get reimbursed for it. Once I reached the hotel, I made plans with my friends. I'm sure they were all frustrated. They had to put up with me for another day. Not really. Well, hopefully. But the point is, we made plans, went out to dinner together, we had a trivia night, and it was fantastic. The next morning, we actually got out this time, no weather concerns, and I made it home a-okay. Once I made it home, that's where the real work began. I had to save all my receipts, which wasn't hard. It was mostly just the dinner receipt. The lifts are all digital, so that was easy enough. And the hotel emailed me the receipt as well. So what you do is that you go on to the Chase Sapphire Reserve site, go under your benefits, and find the travel reimbursement insurance. I click there. Over on the left-hand side, they have a little snippet of where you can go in order to write up a claim. You click there and you go ahead and file a claim, put in all the information, upload all the receipts, and I came across a little snafu that I thought might be a problem. You see, they require from you to get proof from the airline why the flight was delayed, what the reasons were. They need to verify that it falls within the parameters of what they pay out. And that made me a little nervous that it would be a fight for all of my receipts. I figured each one they were going to look through under a microscope and just ask me tons of questions. I was prepared for a fight. First of all, I went ahead and I emailed the customer service at the airline that I took. They actually got back to me pretty quick, and they gave me an email with all the information about why the flight was delayed, what the time was, the flight number, all of it. So I took that email, I PDF'd it, I uploaded it to the form that I needed to fill out for the claim, and off it went. After that, I sat around twiddling my thumbs, waiting and waiting and waiting. I was ready for the fight of my life to get my money, to get reimbursed for every penny I spent. So when they sent me that email, I saw it and I was ready to jump on it. I opened it up, but you know what? They accepted everything. And they gave me every dollar. No fight, no hassle, nothing. All it took was just a little bit of time. And I got back like $200 that I spent. Essentially, I got a free day in my hometown for just missing a flight. I didn't know how well this reimbursement insurance was going to work, so I didn't say anything. And I wish I had, because it just worked so fantastic for me. There was this poor family, a husband, a wife, and 2 kids. They were arguing with the other gate agent, and I can't blame them. The gate agent was telling them that they had no options, and the airline wasn't going to do anything to help them. They actually said that this was the 2nd day in a row that they had been stranded in Tampa because of weather, and so that's 2 nights that they had to pay hundreds of dollars for hotels and meals and everything. And I just felt awful for them. I really hope that they're watching this video now and can hopefully find a credit card with this kind of perk and protection so it never happens to them again. I do want to note that you have to use the credit card that the reimbursement insurance is on in order to qualify for the reimbursement and to have it active. So make sure you look at your credit card, know which one to use, and use that one. For my card, Chase Sapphire Reserve, I get up to $500 per ticket that is able to be reimbursed. I didn't spend as much on that extra day because I was skeptical that it would even work. But in the future, if it happens again, maybe I'll get a slightly better hotel room. Anyway, friends, that's my story, and I hope it helps you a lot. If you liked it, please smash that like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content about how you can save money. And if you have any stories like this where you did use the travel reimbursement insurance, let me know down in the comments. What card did you use? What was your experience and how much money did you save? Anyway, guys, till next time, keep saving money.